Because every marriage is different. But there are key things in each marriage required by God. I'm not just talking about due diligence. A time to leave. The mother he leaves. So brothers, are you loving your wife right? The man's job is to be the husband of one wife, ruling his own house and ruling it well, sober-minded. A role of protection, and he's also the provider, teaching his wife and his children God's word. See, the husband is the head, just like Christ is the head of Christ. Husband, wife, and of course, the children are in subjection to them all. See, when God made kings from the dust of the ground, he pulled out the rib and made woman, created as a helpmeet. Our desire should be for our husband a pillar of rest, his peace when he comes home after dealing with the cares of the world, rubbing his shoulders, massaging his neck. Husband, what can I do for you next? Aiming to please. You both showing gratitude, one for the other. Sarah, our foremother, obeyed Abraham to the point of calling him Lord, a sign of respect. Wives, are we loving our husband correct? This is not about romance, what the movies portray, not about settling down because of what people say. Let's not be pessimistic. Sisters, are you silent and loving? Brothers, are you blameless? Of course, none of us have married just to divorce. See, something about marriage and all the sex they can have. Yes, we know that is unfound. But is your marriage blessed by God? Are you a dragon in your house? Does your husband scream sitting on the rooftop? Are you abusive with your words? Brother, is your wife afraid to come home? Are we loving one another right? When God created Adam, he framed him with a strength to build a nation. He created him with the endurance to go on no matter what. And when Eve came about, she took on that courage to push her Adam in his purpose and to help him build that nation. But she made a mistake that cost them both. Kicked out the Garden of Eden, but it's up to us to know the role that we play so that we can get our families to the kingdom. Let's build a nation, raising young princes and princesses together. Let's build a nation, making the marriage a greatness. Again, not arguing, not blacking out, no adultery, no fornicating, but placing trust in one another that ties a bond that surpasses any other relationship. Let's get back to loving our spouses intentionally. Make it a purpose to love our spouses despite what we think is their flaw, despite the hiccups, despite the bruises and bumps, despite those who told you, I knew he or she wasn't the one, despite the agony of just wanting to be left alone. Let's get back to building a great nation. No more looking back at what could have been or what we thought should have been, because apparently it wasn't. Let's love our spouses from the top of their heads to the very crust of their feet. Let's love our spouses, not based off the TV, not based on how we think it should be. Let's get back to loving our spouses, not with nagging and bitterness, not with complaints and restraints, but emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So the question that you should be asking yourself each day is, are you loving your spouse biblically?